Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
That's a great sound. That's my happy sound. Sorry, I won't put it in front of the screen this time. I'm going to leave it out of shot.
Oh, yes, nice. Someone was not happy that you put it right in front of the... it'll be out of shot.
No, I know, but I don't trust this because it's like a bit wobbly. I have trust issues.
You have trust issues?
Yeah. I have trust issues with it.
Cool. So,
how was your
questions without notice?
Oh, yes.
Or are we going to do how's my week?
No, we can do that. Whichever one you want to start with.
So, questions without notice?
Sure.
Innie or outie?
Wait, do I have one?
No. Do you put toilet paper on the inside or do you hang it on the outside? I don't want to know that.
Oh, no.
What are you talking about?
My belly button.
No, I'm talking about toilet paper.
I thought you were talking about my belly button.
No.
That's really random. I actually don't have a problem. I don't know, I just put it on whatever way I put it on.
So you don't have it hang down against the wall or hang out from the wall?
No, Jared has a problem with this, so because sometimes I put it on the wrong way or whatever, and I just don't think about it.
So how does he want it?
Hanging
like the
over.
hotel, so you can do this little triangle pattern at the end.
I think he likes it hanging over. I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It's one thing I'm not like weirdly specific about.
Well, he doesn't want to burp his poo on the wall trying to grab it and it's sitting.
Who's doing that? How are people struggling? He's like, it's just so much easier this way. I'm like, I think that, I don't know, I can't remember. There's one way he has to go maybe for one of his systems.
One of his systems.
Like with the hanging out clothes system
hanging
that I
out
learned.
Clothes system that you broke. Well, I had a friend who was she had in her pantry, all the labels faced forward. She was that person.
Oh my God.
And they're all in height order and all that type of stuff. It's like you with your apps and your iPhone, all in colour order. Yeah,
it's all colour-coded.
So there's a folder of purples, there's a folder of reds. Anyway,
it's easy.
That's not.
It is.
But she was so fussy about it, and same with toilet seats ups and toilet seats down. So I would always go to the toilet and then switch it around the other way. Oh, and she got used to it. So she'd go in straight after me and always turn it back. So then I worked out that if I turned it the other way around, then folded it right so it hung out the front, but as soon as you pulled it, it went to the back.
You're such a 12-year-old.
I can't help it.
Jared's mum's like that with the utensils drawer. All of the handles need to face the same way. Can't put it in the other way. All the handles need to be facing the same way. Pedantics.
I can be a little bit, but not to that extent. I like to have all your whisks are in one drawer and all. I like to have that. Show my wife just whatever drawer they land in is where they're going to be.
Well, I organised my wardrobe yesterday and I've colour-coded that as well.
You colour-coded your wardrobe?
So it's got all my blacks are together and then all my greys are together and then my blues and then my reds, and then I tried to make it go like kind of like a rainbow cascade, but it didn't really work.
Pink, so I can't see you doing yellows.
I have got a few yellows.
You do yellow?
It's like kind of like a mustardy yellow, but I've only got like a few. I don't have any pinks in there. Pink is not my colour. It doesn't go with my skin tone. But I colour-coded that, and then I asked Jared, I was like, do you want me to colour-code yours? He's like, no. He likes to have T-shirts in one section, then jumpers, then pants. So.
Yeah, well, I have my T-shirt wardrobe. It has T-shirts in it. Then I have my Levi's 501s without holes, all of my Ralph Laurens and those ones. Then I've got all my Holy ones in the bottom drawer. And she loves to just throw them in whatever one she feels like.
Well, it's like even the system we've got out the back for things, but then you change that on me like every 6 months.
What system?
I don't know. Everything seems to change. We'll have everything in a certain order and I get used to it, and then you'll be creative and we'll change it.
Oh, it's still a system. I just put more drawers in there. Oh. Because the drawer's got too full to pull out.
Well, because we've changed it as well. Now we've got our own system. So like all of the stuff that I use for videoing, that's on a shelf, and then you've got like your video shelf, and then we've got an audio drawer and stuff like that. But location changes sometimes, and I get confused.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'll move all because as a drawer gets too full and won't open properly. Go right. Well, that needs to be in a bigger drawer. Let's find something I'm not filling on the bigger drawers and swap it around. It took me. I waste a lot of time doing that shit.
I know. And then you don't tell me about it either, like, because you'll go do that while I'm doing something else.
No, you'll go home.
Oh, and then you do.
I'll be here for another hour and a half doing things. Why am I doing this?
But then you'll ask me, can you go grab this? And I go out the back and I'm like, I can't find it. And then I come out and tell you I can't find it. And then you go out and then you come and it was right there. Well, I didn't know.
That's called payback.
I didn't know you
started
moved
that.
It. All right, well, you don't tell me when you move things and then make me feel silly for not knowing where they are.
I would never do that.
Yeah, right.
Never,
It's all fun and games.
So,
how else was your week? What else did you do?
I just worked.
Fun.
I know I spent 3 days here straight, 2.5 days stripping the site back, relaying the boards, putting it all up, sanding it back.
Fixing it up so we don't have that annoying crack in it anymore.
We don't have that annoying crack.
If anyone noticed that in any of our videos, the crack in the cyc on the wall, it's down.
So that fixed all the curtains, cleaned out all the kitchen cupboards, and it was like peanut butter that was used by 2003.
God,
like,
gross.
Yeah, no, there was stuff that was just, when we had a makeup artist stay here for a while, and there was a lot of this herbal tea crap, which we would never, well, it might have been shrooms, I don't know, it looked weird, really weird. It was sort of growing on its own, it all went in the bin.
Oh my gosh. I remember when I first started, I said, because I like doing that kind of stuff, and I remember...
But you never did it.
Yeah, I did. I rearranged it when I first started.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
When you didn't throw out the 2003 peanut butter.
I'm surprised
Although
I didn't.
we used to use that though.
I remember there was some things that I was like, can I throw this out? And you were like, no, we need it for props. And I was like, okay.
No, the peanut butter, the chocolate syrup, and the food colour is to make chunky blood.
Chunky blood.
So it doesn't matter if it's off because it's just to replicate.
Oh, it's not getting eaten.
It's not getting eaten. Yeah. And the Nutella jars was for that.
For the
Nutella
shoot,
soup.
yes. Yeah. So yeah, there were certain things I couldn't throw because they were props, but I'm glad you threw it out because that's a bit gross.
But yeah, I did that. Watch Grand Prix. Watch Mexico, which was good. Daniel Ricciardo, driver of the day, about time. That was really cool to watch. I enjoyed that. Enjoyed watching Dave Reynolds up in surface racing. He did really well too. And edited so much video after video. But it's still, fun. But hopefully by the time we go to Fiji, I'll have caught up and maybe I can have a day off on the plane.
Yes. Well, if we're not here, because I feel like we've just been here shooting and filming and stuff to get the content to catch up, but then we don't have the time for me to help you video editing because we're here all the time. So if we could have a day at home, I can help you.
You can help me.
I can help you.
Nobody can help me. Good luck with this.
Too far gone.
Way too far gone. And how was your Halloween? I saw your
Halloween was
peeling
fun.
your scab off your neck thing.
Oh, that was so sad. It was because I stuck it on with tissue and liquid latex, and then I said that gets all like gross, and then I got the scissors and cut out the middle and said put more liquid latex and then put all the fake blood. But liquid latex, I got it in my hair, like in my baby hairs, and because it was on my neck and I had to drive.
I could imagine you pulling it out.
It was so, but even just like because it was really, like, I don't know if anyone's ever had liquid latex on their skin, it's not nice. I was driving to my mum's because we stayed there because it was closer to get to the party anyways. I'm trying to drive with this on my neck, I'm trying to change lanes, and I'm like, ow, I can't turn my
Crash. You just run over some poor guy on a motorbike.
It was so painful. But no, Halloween was fun. All of my extended friends were at the party, which was good. And not everyone dressed up, which is a little bit not as fun. And we were making fun that like a group of my friends came as douchebags that went to the races, because that's what they were. But they came straight from the races. So they were in suits. We were like, oh, nice costume. You're a douchebag that went to the races.
Yeah, for anyone who's not in Australia, on Tuesday it's called Cup Day. It's a day that we have a public holiday for a horse
race.
And most of Australia shuts down at 2 o'clock to watch a horse race, which
ridiculous.
Is crazy.
I think that public holiday is only in Victoria.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's only in Victoria.
Yeah, and then we have another one for a football match, but the public holiday isn't even on the day of the football match.
No.
I love us. So good. Well, I'm not complaining. I don't even
You're
like
not complaining.
footy.
You don't have to pay your wages on your day off going to the footy.
I don't watch the footy anyways.
If you're going to take that day off, you have to watch the footy.
It's not on that day though.
No, but you have to make up for it.
What if I just tell you I watched it and I didn't?
I won't believe you.
I normally do go to a grand final party, but we're in America all the time, so I'm not even getting the public holiday. Because we're normally in America at that time.
Oh.
So I'm working anyways.
We'll have to work that more like that.
So there you go. But if I'm in Australia, I normally go to a grand final. Not even I even watch the footy, it's just fun it's just an excuse to have a few drinks with mates. And yeah, but no, Halloween was fun. And Then
and your spicy margs.
I made spicy marg. I perfected the spicy marg.
Oh, yeah, right. I saw the spicy salt came that far down the glass. How do you put the whole glass in your mouth?
No, you use a lime to...
I know, but you had it coming that far down the glass.
Well, I must have cut the lime a bit funny. I don't know.
And then squeezing limes with pliers. That looked very...
agricultural.
very agricultural.
But no, they were... I perfected it. Well, at least I don't know, but that was like... I think I made the perfect one, but that was probably like my third or fourth attempt. So
anything tasted good at that stage.
Yeah, but it was still good.
We're going to have to do a spicy marg off.
We will have a spicy marg off next.
We'll do a spicy marg off.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm excited for this.
Except I'm doing a Tarantino one. You can do your.
Are you doing like a slushy one?
Yeah, you got to put the chunks of ice. Not slushy. It has to have big chunks of ice in it too.
Well, that's all right then.
You got to drink it out of a jam jar.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, that was what I did, and then I rearranged gutted my house, trying to slowly but surely getting rid of. I'd cleaned out bags that were in my, what's it called, garage, my garage, and I understand why Jared said I'm a bit of a hoarder, because there was literally a garbage bag full of shoes and half of them were broken. I was like, why do I?
That's because you're too lazy to carry it out to the bin. It's easier just to throw it in the garage and walk 2 more steps and put it in the bin.
This came from when I lived at Mum's house.
Oh, so you packed it up and moved
it.
But didn't Jared move in because we were away when you got your house? Didn't Jared move all your stuff in?
I packed up my room before I left. So why did I pack? Why didn't I just throw it away? Because I don't know.
Have issues.
Yeah, I have issues.
You've got to start working out what side you're going to hang the toilet paper on.
Yep.
Then you can start getting some sequences in your life.
Okay, and then I can maybe start throwing out broken shoes.
Yes.
Anyways, that's enough randomness, I guess.
Randomness.
Yes. Well, I was going to talk about, Richard sent us an email. He is shooting bands, or he's getting back into shooting bands. I can't remember, but he wanted you to briefly talk, because he knows that you used to shoot bands back in my day.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. So I guess just like, but you were shooting on film, weren't you?
There's a lot of difference.
Yeah.
A hell of a lot of difference. I was shooting on film. I had my dad's old Minolta.
Yep.
I was shooting down to a 15th of a second.
Oh, wow. Did you have a camera flash, or did you just
use... Yeah, a big Metz flash on the side. But I'd see what the light show was, and whatever predominant light I thought was coming from the front, I put that gel on the flash. So whenever the flash went off, it just looked like one of the gels from the... So it gave the feel. And I normally carried a couple of gels. So normally a yellow, a blue, or a green. They were the only ones I tended to carry. Now and then I have an orange, but not a big fan of orange. And yeah, I'd prop myself, I'd cut my arms right in, lean in against the stage, and I'd focus on the microphone, because the thing would always be, so the microphone would always look sharp. And it didn't matter if the thing was a bit blurred and that added feel and emotion to the picture. It shows movement and things like that. So, and yes, all of that stuff, shooting back then, it was just, I don't know, it just didn't even think.
Yeah.
I had a light meter. I'd just wait for all the lights to come on for this, just worked out my light meter. In the end, I didn't end up taking light meters, so I worked out most shows were about the same brightness. And with film, you had a bit of scope to move. Didn't even think. Later on, when I was doing some stuff I was doing VIP photography for some of the bigger clubs in Melbourne. Every now and then I'd need to shoot something on stage or the band, but most of that was just balancing the flash. So it was that same thing as I teach when I do lingerie at night in the city, and that it's basically get an exposure for where the flash isn't going to go. So I'll take a picture of somewhere so far away, the flash, get my exposure to how bright I want that. So I might be at 2,500 ISO at a 60th of a second at maybe 2.8, and then put a flash on manual and just slowly dial it up till the subject about 3 meters away from me, so it blends in so they don't look like they're flashlight.
Yeah.
But I just don't. It's even if you ask me to go out and shoot fishermen again now.
You wouldn't know.
It's so long since I've done it.
Yeah.
There's heaps better guys now with the modern gear. So even most of the fishing stuff was on film. It was only towards the end of shooting the stuff for the magazine that they finally let me use some digital. but most of the time it was on film.
Yeah, so it's just really different these days from what you...
It's so different, and
Yeah.
even, well, I don't know, after seeing Dead Mouse, I'm happy to go to a concert with my iPhone. I was so really happy. And my iPhone, and this isn't the latest one, the latest one would be even better, but the one I had, I just grabbed a video, there was a frame, I pulled the frame off the video, put it into Topaz. I was able to get up to A2 without any sign of pixels or anything. So, yeah, iPhone's the way to... No. I know it's cheating, but this is the thing with, you're going to get nice pictures. They're not going to be amazing, they're going to be nice. There's a photographer, Michelle, she's going to kill me because I can't remember her surname. She was a model originally when I met her. She was a model and she started taking photos, and she does rules, or rules, is it rural? The Australian young rural. She started travelling with him and shooting his work, and she does a lot of the live shows. She, like, if I had to shoot a band again, I'd actually mostly ring up her and say, hey, what tricks are you using now?
Yeah.
Because it's not what I do.
You can drop a link to Michelle's
Yeah,
socials.
drop a link to Michelle. Might be a different style, but she does some nice live work.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, she does do
Yeah,
really
she's
good.
a model,
Really,
good friend of Sherry's.
Yeah, I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, she does great band photography.
Yeah, well, she's picked up, I think she's done one of the covers for...
Right, good on her. No, she is really good at doing band photography. I'll drop a link there. Maybe that could be something that she could help people wanting to shoot bands out with, if she's interested.
Yeah,
nice little
I
plug
don't know
for
where in
Michelle.
the world she is at the moment. She's travelling a lot these days.
Nice,
but,
good on her. That's rad. Well, I guess that answers my question that I
you
had
only
for
have
you.
your one question that was sent to me originally on the weekend.
Yeah,
Well done.
thanks.
So, all right, so a couple of things that I will talk about. I was
Well, I
actually
can
really...
bounce off you.
Sorry?
You can bounce off. Oh, I was going to talk about, because I was going to do a shoot yesterday, but the photographer is still in Sydney, so that didn't go ahead.
Did he bother to cancel with you?
No. Well, no, because I was about to message him to say, hey, are we still on? And then I saw he had a story, and I clicked on the story, and it was in Sydney. He was in Sydney, and I was like, okay, I guess that's not happening then.
Oh, the payback she could have done.
Why?
I'm sitting waiting. What time was the shoot
We
today?
never actually organised a time or a
so you
meeting
didn't-
place.
you
No,
didn't-
it was just like a rough pencil in of you free on this day, and I said yes, and then he was like, cool. And then we never went any further, so we didn't have like a location, an outfit, a time or anything. So that's why when I saw the story in Sydney, I was like, well, we never went any further with the planning anyway, so it's no skin off my back.
No skin off your back.
No.
None at all. You got no skin on your back to take any off.
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Hey, podcast/YouTube.
That's not where I put my... Well, that might be why I'm doing the wrong ones.
Yeah. See, I thought we were working off that.
Well, why did you have the other one?
Well, I don't know. No, she asked about what celebrities you would like to photograph.
Oh, yes, that was the one.
Yes, I know that one's in that note section.
Well, you forgot about it till I brought this note section up.
Well, I just
Some
remembered.
assistant.
No, we should work out a bit of system for this. Maybe we'll get Jared onto it. Maybe he has a nice system.
No, I'm paying you to be my assistant. Maybe you could do it.
We'll come up with a better system.
Yeah, so she's asked what
Maya, I
celebrities
think her name
I
was.
would like to shoot. And it's really hard. I don't know, I get a lot of buzz out of wearing a picture that nobody knows on a T-shirt, and the amount of comments I get, oh, wow, who's that?
Oh, cool T-shirt.
Or cool T-shirt, which meant my photography was good.
Yeah.
But if I was to wear a T-shirt of Angelina Jolie, they'd just go, oh, wow, Angelina Jolie.
Yeah. And
So-
not so much look at your photography.
Well, they don't even know it's my photography with the T-shirts anyway,
Yeah,
but
but they're
the reason they
commenting-
commented was
Yeah.
they've commented on someone who's a nobody like Bec, and no,
I am. I'm just a regular person.
a regular person.
I am.
And so from that side, I'm not big. There's certain people I'd love to shoot, but then there's other people, I don't know, I think they would never let me work the way I work, so I wouldn't get my picture. I think someone like Kate Moss might, and I'd love to shoot her, but I'd want to have like a sit down with her for an hour beforehand, just talking shit with a glass of wine, and just see if we can connect enough for her to say, oh, well, I've been modelling since I was this age until now, and I'm going to change what I do for you. Yeah, no worries. So someone like that, but someone like Angelina Jolie would be amazing, but I don't think Angelina should just might as well be at a paparazzi.
Yeah.
She's not going to go out on a limb with some photographer she's never heard of before.
True.
And I've been listening to the Emily Ratter audiobook, and because there's some really, really horrible photographers in this world. 90% of them male, and I wouldn't call them photographers; they're just sleaze buckets.
Yeah. And
I'm getting quite uncomfortable listening to it because it's the same thing that's happening time and time again, and it's everybody wants to shoot her for her body. Whereas I'm the opposite. I'd be saying, I think her head's amazing. And I'd be saying, no, and I have that, you've heard me say to a lot of models, there's millions of good bodies out there.
Yeah.
But you put a bag on someone's head, you don't even know whose body it is.
Well, also, there's no gym for your face.
There's no gym for your face.
Oh, I guess there is. It's called plastic surgery.
Or liquefy.
Or filters.
Or
But
filters.
no, but without that, whereas, having a great body is great, but go to the gym for that. But having an expression in your eyes, you can't go to the gym for an expression in your eyes. And that's and having a good face and that, that's much more special than having a ripped body. As much as I want a ripped body, man, I want to, but I'm too lazy.
Yeah, so
I like pizza and wine.
If I could go back in time, it's easy, because I'd say I'd love to shoot Gemma Ward when she was around about 18, 19, 20. I'd love to shoot Kate Moss when she was around the 20 years old. There's certain models that there's a period I would have loved to have shot them at. Unfortunately, there hasn't been those models coming up anymore. There's a, Gertrude, but she's sort of famous. She's not...
She hasn't got that many followers.
She's not that many followers, but Maya, I'd love to shoot her again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually adore, and I'd love to shoot Audrey again. She's not super. She's
pretty famous in
she's
France.
a B-lister in France.
Yeah, she's done a few talk shows and stuff over there.
No, it should be someone. Well, we've already had to reach out to each other a couple of times to try and make something like that happen.
And she was even speaking of what you were saying about Em Ratter and the sleaze buckets and stuff. Not that I was on the shoot, but I know the story when you did shoot with Audrey, that she loved shooting with you because she said you're the only photographer that didn't try and get her naked, and most photographers just want to try and get her naked and see her boobs. And she's like, no, you didn't. You're the only photographer that was more interested in capturing my face.
Yeah, she wanted to do, the final look was implied behind a sheet on the bed in front of a French fireplace through an open window. And I said, well, here's some tape, put some tape on. And she just looked at me and goes, all right. And then it was 5 or 6 years later, she was doing a live on Instagram. Yeah. And I've just jumped on, hi Audrey, and she's gone, Peter Coulson, and she mentioned the most respectful photographer I've ever worked with. But it's that thing that I would love to shoot with some of these amazing models before they got damaged by the horrible industry. And unfortunately, the industry, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s especially, and a little bit into the 2000s, so many of the guys with cameras had so much power. Yeah. And I really dislike that side. But as you know, we can see it in the work of modern photographers. It's pretty easy to see a photo and go, yeah, we know what he's thinking because 100%. That face looks terrible, but yeah, she's practically wearing nothing and you think it's a good photo.
Yeah, because you're not looking at the horrible face, you're looking
at the body.
The body, yeah. No, I see that. I see that far too often for my liking.
I see it way. And even with Emily, I started to get a little bit listening to her, well, stop picking on us men, and started to think, well, hang on a minute, I don't know many photographers that think like me. Yeah. There's a few I would know, but I think of all the comments I see from other photographers at different times, and it's more that you're so lucky. If I was shooting my daughter, you wouldn't be saying, "Oh, you're lucky you've got a beautiful daughter." That'd be a different lucky, or wouldn't be. And it's like with shooting with you. The comments I get with that, it's just they don't get it. They don't get that picture because they've got an ulterior motive, and most women can smell that out from a mile off. Yeah, and so women have amazing intuitions. Yeah, in fact, I would actually love to shoot Emily. I think if she would give me time a day, I'd like to spend a day with her, just hanging and talking
getting to know her a bit before you shoot.
Getting to know her and getting her to know what I love, like the eyes, the soul of a person's in the eyes and what's behind the eyes.
Yeah, I find like the knowing someone before you shoot them, and like we even do that whenever we start working with someone. Even once we do know someone, normally when someone comes into the studio, the first hour is just sitting down and talking, getting them to pick out what photos they like, us getting to know them type of thing, because it just makes it so much easier and when you actually know someone. And that's why, we've been shooting for 12 years now. We know, and we've been working for you for nearly 5 years, but we know each other pretty well, and that's why we're able to create such awesome photos. Well, I think they're kind of awesome. But that's why, because
It's amazing what Photoshop can do.
Shut up. Because we know each other. And I remember you had this conversation with Lottie recently. She was in and you were asking her what she wants to do, and she was like, no, what do you want to do? And you were like, I don't know you well enough to suggest something.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're trying to create, what you're trying to achieve, what your boundaries are. But I need to know boundaries more than, I know she doesn't mind doing something that looks like she's implied, but to what extent?
Yeah, but then
Right, do you want it to be, she's just not wearing clothes, or she's topless?
Yeah.
Right, there's two big differences to the way someone's looking at the picture.
Exactly.
And I don't believe she can answer that yet, and which makes it hard for me because and you've seen me recently get a little bit annoyed because
you didn't know where.
I thought I knew where.
Yeah, no.
This model's for this, and I could collect what, and this model's for this, I can collect. And all of a sudden, that just changed. But hang on a minute, we've been working together for years, but now it's just changed.
You've changed the line in the sand. Yeah.
Which is fine, but don't do it during the shoot. Do it when you change your line.
Yeah.
But I guarantee that line will get moved again.
Yeah. So that's just frustrating for you. Whereas, like, at least with me, like, I'm pretty upfront about where my line in the sand is.
Except you didn't tell me about.
Oh, I told you I didn't know the words. I knew there was something I wasn't liking, but I didn't know what it was, and I finally.
Well, you never said it.
Well, I did now. I couldn't figure it out.
It was a really, really good picture too.
Okay, well, shows me.
No, I was going to do it for the thumbnail. I thought, no, she'll kill me, and found the other thumbnail and did that instead.
Well, still show me.
We still show you.
Yeah.
I'll edit it first.
Sorry, it sounds like we're having secret talk.
We are having secret talk.
But no, my line in the sand's pretty. I don't do implied nude. Like, where it looks like I'm like.
Yeah, but your line has moved.
My line has moved. I have changed it, but once I've moved it, I haven't moved it again.
No, but you never made it clear for me.
Yeah, but I've made it clear now. But
no, I know, but that's all I need is if it's clear. So Bec doesn't like looking like she is nude.
Yes.
It doesn't matter that she's wearing clothes, but she doesn't like looking like she is nude.
Yes.
Because she's never nude.
No, I'm not.
But
so yeah.
But see, that's all. Any model just has to say, hey, this is where I'm heading now.
Yep.
Because I change with my photography too, but I won't, like, when you told me this, I just went through and pulled 40 pictures out of your inspiration folder.
Exactly, and that's.
Because they were all the old pictures.
Yeah.
And that's where we get lost. And it's that thing of having communication. It's all right for an artist. An artist can just paint.
Yeah.
Doesn't need anyone's permission, can just paint whatever they like.
But when you're dealing
with a photographer, it needs to be a collaboration.
Yes.
But it's really important that both the photographer and the model are very open with the collaboration. And as I said to Bloom the other day, I said, just trust me, go wider in the legs. You're standing. I said, because this looks like your legs are weak. If you go wider so it feels too wide,
it's gonna.
And come and have a look at the picture. If you don't like it, we won't. And she goes, oh, that's so much better.
Yeah.
See, I need that little bit of trust for me to take a picture and show the difference that happened.
Yes.
So it does make it very hard, and I do get very frustrated. All I want is someone to say, here to here. I'll bring up a mood board. Nah. Nah.
Whereas I think when we were going through photos for our upcoming trip to Fiji, to the beach, I'm so excited. We're going to Fiji in like 2 weeks. You were bringing up photos and asking me what I thought of it, and I was very, no, don't like that, or love that. No, that's not for me.
Yeah, that was so I can set what I'm going to be doing.
Yes. And then we went shopping. and bought some cool
Shopping.
stuffs.
Bought some cool stuff.
I'm so excited. So excited for warmth. It's so cold again. I thought it was meant to be warm now.
It's supposed to be warm next week.
Thank gosh.
You're talking, half the world's going into winter now.
Yeah, but we're not. Yeah, but we're in the half that's going into summer, and we live in Australia, and everyone thinks it's hot here. It's not. We're not in Melbourne.
No, but it's hot in Central Australia. It's hot up in Cairns at the moment.
It's always hot up in Cairns. Anyways,
You're Ravens.
I'm always Ravens.
So I was actually really surprised also that I did, it hasn't been up long, but I expected to get a lot more hate. My camera rant.
Oh, yeah.
I did expect a lot more hate and I didn't get it, which proves the point that us photographers need to yell louder at camera manufacturers to what we want. We don't want cameras that just are full automatic. They just do everything, you just press the button, brain dead.
Why would you expect to get more hate for that?
There's a lot of photographers out there who shoot sports, wedding and things like that that's still shooting priorities.
Well, I guess if that works, I mean, like, you're probably not getting the hate because they're probably shooting with that because it suits what they're doing. Because, yeah, if you are shooting a wedding or sports, it probably is easier to shoot in a priority. Yes? No?
But if you've got a highlight alert going, you see the instant.
Yes, yeah, okay, I see where you're coming from.
And then you're not in Lightroom or any of those other things going, bring that up one, bring that down, bring that up, bring that down.
I guess, yeah.
Well, you've seen yourself as how much, like when we're filming this stagnant stuff, we're in auto ISO because the sun's going in and out like crazy, but the background's not changing.
Yeah.
And a video we were doing today, because we're shooting in white and the sun was going in and out, again, we put the video camera into ISO.
Auto
ISO.
But then I was on full manual on my gimbal.
You were full manual on the gimbal, but the two cameras we had, we then had to go +1 because we had a white background.
Yes.
Because it kept on wanting to underexpose it.
And make it grey.
Yeah, make it grey.
I know things.
You know things. Too much information can be dangerous.
Oh, quite.
So your film camera, have you actually taken a frame yet?
No.
So how many years am I going to wait?
Well, because I mainly want it to I should have brought it out on Saturday actually to the party I went to. But this is the thing, I want to use it when I go to parties to take photos of my friends and stuff like that. Like I'm not into doing like landscapes and stuff.
Yeah, but when you're at a party, you're not interested in doing that.
Yes, I am.
Are you?
Well,
I thought you
I
just
would
want
be.
to party.
I would be.
You can pull out your iPhone and just take the shot.
Yeah, but it'd be cool to have film ones. But then I forgot to bring it out on Saturday, and I had two, when was it? Before we went to America, I had 2 birthdays in one day, and I was like, perfect, I'll bring it to that. But then one of the birthdays was out on Chapel Street, and I was like, I don't really want to bring a film camera out while I'm sitting at a bar on Chapel Street. It's just going to be annoying to carry around all day. So I didn't. But I should have brought it to the house party on Saturday. That would have been perfect.
Perfect. Will it fit in your YSL bag?
No.
Oh, that's why you don't take it
carry
out. So we need to get a smaller camera or a bigger YSL bag.
Maybe. No, I could just carry it. It's got my little strap on it.
Your strap.
Yeah, but it's just more I didn't want to carry it out. Like if it's just at a house party, if I'm not using it, I can just put it down somewhere. So it's just a bit of a news. But I will use it, I promise.
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 I'll bring it out to my 30th, at least.
Your 30th.
Yeah. In January's, because I'm going to be old. Such an old lady.
So we also had a few people that liked the picture scrolling in the background that don't have a bottle of wine sitting in the front of them. Anybody on podcasts don't care, but anybody on YouTube
do.
We are going to do
Talking.
a YouTube talking a bit, but we've got to, like even this folder, there would still be...
ages.
Took me ages, but still, if I was going to do a YouTube on it where they're not slightly out of focus in the background, I would have to pull half again out of it again. Otherwise, YouTube goes, all right, we're just going to restrict that a little bit so nobody sees it. So it's a waste of time doing it.
Yeah.
For Inspire, though, I am actually going to go through some of my stuff. I'm not going to tell me stories. That's for
for the book, yep.
But I am going to talk through some of the photo shoots that I don't have to worry about being YouTube sensitive.
Yes.
And there's plenty of shoots that I've got in here that have all got stories behind why I did what I did and why. I think I was just going to pick out the pictures that I like. Not the pictures that go well, just the pictures I like and explain why I like them. Because a lot of the pictures I really like don't go well. I don't care. I still love them. They're the ones that hang in my man cave.
That'll be cool. So that'll be coming soon. It's just going to take a bit of editing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a little bit. I'll just add it to the pile.
Well, I can help you if we're not here. We've been here all the time.
So you say.
We have. We've just been filming non-stop.
Filming.
That's why I feel like you've been editing so much, because we have such a backlog of content.
Well, I pretty much have. Since we got back from America, I haven't had a weekend off.
Yeah. Well, I think I've been at yours like 3 days since we've been back.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was getting content
And cleaning up.
Cleaning up this weekend was destroyed by cleaning up. I had to do it because we have our workshop on the weekends,
Yes.
and that cyclorama was giving me hell.
Yes.
It got damaged many years ago by somebody, and
yes.
one panel keeps popping off, and I had to pull it all off and do
Was
it
it that
properly.
same person that did lots of damage
Yes.
in here?
Yes. Problem with people with too much money and not much brains.
And it's also just, we don't hire the studio out anymore. Not for that, well, it's just, well, I guess that was probably me, but no, the people that had hired it recently when we did have studio hire, they didn't do any damage, but it's just more, you run that risk of having that happen, and also we've got to be here, and it's time consuming.
Yes, well, someone actually mentioned about the people that follow my work would like to know more about the images. So I think I'll do a rant for YouTube
Yeah.
and just talk through them, because some of the pictures, they mean something to me. They might not mean a single thing to anybody else, but there was something that happened during the shoot that then this was created from.
Well, it's like that photo of me. I know your favourite one of me, and we can't show it to you, unfortunately, but...
Oh, freezing cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that means a hell of a lot to me.
The fact that I was willing to do that and be freezing cold and still
It was freezing.
It was freezing. It was freezing out there.
All we need you to do is go on to Paris afterwards, and you didn't want to get on a plane. You just wanted to go party with your friends.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
I would have loved to have. But yeah, no, I think we've said this before. Well, I've heard you say it before, that some of your favourite photos, they mean a lot to you because of the story behind it, and because of some connection you have with the model, or something that happened on that day, or something that happened on the shoot, and that's why that photo means a lot to you. But no one's going to know that just looking at it.
And I don't expect anybody to love that photo, but for me, there was something special for me.
Specials.
So yeah, it's things like that. But then there's also photos that, what you sort of call icon photos, that when you've made it, you go, oh my God, that's iconic. That one will stand because everything just fell into place. Like the Lizzie on point with the tripod, like there's one frame, bang.
I think that's the most requested photo we have when people want to buy prints. I feel like everyone wants to buy that one. I get an email being like, do you have prints for sale? And I say, yes. And I'm like, which one are you after? And I'm like, any money, it's always that one. That is a really cool photo though.
There's in other photos, like when I'm working with Rara and Nicole. Yeah, but there's also other Nicole ones, which like the Painter series, where I had her painting herself, and just
those are really cool.
Those that it took 5 hours to do that shoot for just 4 frames. Well, 4 pictures there, 4 final photos.
Like the actual shoot or the retouching?
What I actually used
to retouch it.
Yeah, there's 4 in the series.
Yeah.
But it was 4 to 5 hours of shooting to get those, to be able to manipulate them the way I wanted to. So she was literally painting a photo of herself.
My microphone just fell.
Bec's microphone just fell. So after fixing Bec's sound, because it fell off.
Sorry.
So it'll mostly be a couple of weeks until I can get something, but I'll definitely do something that's me talking a little bit about my photography. I've had a lot of people ask me to talk about other people's photography. I don't want to. That's not really...
It's not what you do.
Not just that, because it's like I keep saying to people in workshops, in a book, if they say there's a little picket fence and a house on the hill with a dog, and a postie van drives up and there's an old tree in the front yard, everybody has their own picture of what that house looks like, what sort of dog it was, what sort of postal van it was. But if the artist put a picture in the book, you've just taken that away from being your story to only his story. So if I was to talk about, say, stuff I loved of Helmut Newton or stuff that I loved of Peter Lindbergh or Irving Penn or any of those people, I'm going to start imparting my story of how I read that image, which is going to destroy your own story.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't like things like, even when people do movie reviews and they start talking about their take on it, I normally turn them off because I have my own take and I'm happy with my own take, even though I'm happy to tell other people about my own take.
Speaking of movie reviews and stuff, I guess also speaking of like critiquing and that, I found it really interesting. I went to movies yesterday and saw one of the best new movies I've seen in a very long time. It was called Don't Worry, Darling. I highly recommend it. I really loved it. But after I'd booked the movie, the night before, I was trying to decide on something to watch. So tossing up between two movies, and I went to see which one had a better review. And I went with the one that had a better review, and I didn't like it. And then it got me thinking, because I just booked these movie tickets. I was like, I wonder what the ratings are like for it. And it was pretty low. It was like a 6.3 out of 10. And I was like, crap, if I just wasted money on going, just because that happened last time we went to the movies. It was cheesy. It was not good. It's a cheesy vampire horror movie. But
was it the Machine Gun Kelly movie?
No, I didn't see that at the movies.
That was terrible too.
It is. But it was great. It was great, but it's terrible. Anyways, I went to, cheesy vampire horror movie, not good. And then this movie had bad reviews as well. And I was like, oh no, have I wasted my money? It was bloody brilliant. But then I found out, so Jared mentioned it in his boys' chat, and one of them was like, oh, there was a lot of drama around it with, the director and, the main actor and all this stuff. So people are probably just, there's a lot of gossip and drama around it. So people are probably just leaving it bad reviews based on their
It's got nothing to do with the movie, though.
I know.
That's, real people's lives, not the movie.
I know, which I find absolutely bollocks, but...
Bollocks.
Oh, it is bollocks.
Oh, Gail talk. Oh my God.
It is bollocks.
We'll have to get Gail to come in.
It's got nothing to do with...
Be a guest on one of the podcasts so people can see where you get this from.
It's got nothing to do with the movie. And so, I don't know, I guess if you don't like... if someone doesn't like you, they're going to say your photo... Well, there is a certain someone that clearly has some problem with you that was leaving really bad comments on all your photos for a little while.
Yeah, but why waste your time on that?
I know, but it's what I mean.
I'm not going to change what I do for him. He's never going to be my client.
I know, I'm not saying that. I'm saying more people, if they've got some personal problem, they'll view it negatively.
Oh, yeah.
Whether that personal problem is jealousy or whatever, once they've got that personal problem, they're going to be like, oh, no, that's bad.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah.
There's certain people I don't like some of their ethics, but they've taken some amazing photos.
Yeah, because you can separate the two, but some people
except
can't.
for one person. Well, one series of images from one person I can't separate because I can only see that in the images now. I can actually see what had happened on that shoot in the image. And before it was such an innocence in the picture. Now it's disgusting. I can't even look at some of my old favourite pictures now. I know the story behind them.
Yeah.
But then there's other people that, a lot of people had a hard time with Helmut Newton, but he was just very abrupt. He was German, and German are always, my best mate.
To the point.
Yeah, my best mate. When I was doing fly fishing, the first day I went down to this fly fishing club, and I'd spent more money on a rod than I'd spent in my entire life on the fishing rod. And he comes a couple of waves and goes, "This rod is shit. You can't do this." But that was just how he talks. And he was right. It was crap compared to what he was using.
Yeah.
He could still cast a full line out of it. And I'm sitting there going, hey, it might be shit, but if I can do that, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But that's how they are. And
so a lot
there's
of people
some awesome stuff on YouTube, which it's hard to find because it has full nudity in it, so YouTube make it hard to search. But it's allowed to be there.
You have to be logged in.
You have to be logged in your account, and when you search, you've got to make sure you keep searching the words. It's Helmut Newton by June Newton or something like that. She bought him a video camera, and he used it once and hated it. So June decided to use it.
And she documented him.
Just document every day of his life, his afternoon naps, him sitting in the morning reading the paper, his commenting, his casting with models, her sitting on a photo shoot. There's an amazing shoot with Cindy Crawford walking down these stairs, and these two bogey-looking guys came up with a camera in hand. Can you take our picture to Helmut Newton?
Oh my God.
Like, and he has, and the director said, you don't know what that picture is worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all these really, really cool things which behind the scenes of seeing how he really was. And he just had a picture in his head and he was dogged.
That's what he was
That's what he needed, that picture.
Yeah.
It had to be exactly the feeling he had in his head.
Yeah. So he was like pretty abrupt with how he...
Very abrupt.
But he wasn't like a nasty person. He was just like, no, I want this photo.
Yeah, he wasn't nasty, but he was very, very forthright in, no, this is shit. Stand up straighter. Yeah. No, I want powerful woman. I don't want weak woman. Yeah. Stand power. And he would talk like that. And some people would say that's degrading of a woman. No, he was telling her to be more powerful. He didn't want...
Didn't want weak and submissive.
Weak and submissive. He wanted a powerful woman. And
yeah.
He wanted that figure to play the part because he didn't want her submissive in the role. He wanted her to be the power in that role.
He sounds like he was a really cool dude.
I think he might have been.
Surely.
But yeah, so things like, I think just critiquing other people's work in general, critique your own.
Yeah.
If you're not hitting your own mark, go back and look at it and say to yourself, what have I done wrong? What could I have done better? Is it the expression? Is it my exposure? It's my angle? Is it the way I framed it? Is it my over-retouching or my under-retouching? Any of the above.
Well, I've noticed, like, even with... Well, I do that looking at photos. Like, if we do a shoot or something and I'm going through the photos, I'm kind of critiquing myself. Like, if I'm looking at a series of photos that you've taken, I know you've done your job and the lighting's great and everything, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, what aren't I doing? And I'm looking at how I can improve myself in the photo. It's like my arm thing I keep doing. I keep doing this thing where, like, I put my arm out and twist it.
I know, but
like, why am I doing that?
That's because...
I think I've stopped doing that now.
It's a safety zone thing you do.
It's not I just don't know why I do it.
Because it's part of your cuteness thing you do, isn't it?
So cute.
No, what I mean is normally when you do it, you get a certain face.
Right.
So that is creating a feel.
Right.
All you got to do is get in front of a mirror, don't look at your face. Pull shapes that you go, oh, I like that. I like my arms like this. And feel how it's looking from neck down. And then once you start pulling on shoots, you'll remember how cool you're
The muscle memory.
A little bit of muscle memory, but it's more, it's like when I say, you know, powerful, tough, strong, or cute and pretty.
Yeah.
The whole body has to move, but it has to move the way that you would do powerful and how you would do cute and pretty.
Yes. Can't just...
You've got this in-between pose, which I know when I see it, it's just to me, she's lost. When you're not doing it, you're not lost. But when you're doing it, it's a little bit, she's in between moods. She doesn't know what mood she's trying to do.
I'm just confused.
And confused.
I'm always confused.
But all that's hard. I really don't like it when I watch the models ripping themselves apart in their own head while they're looking through the pictures at the end of a shoot.
I'm not necessarily, well, sometimes I am, but I'm more so looking at, like, I'll look at like a series of 10 photos and be like, don't like. And then all of a sudden I get through like 10 where I'm like, love. And I'm looking at what the difference was, or I'm trying to think back to, I know what I was feeling during that, and like...
It just meant you were feeling something and you weren't feeling something.
Anyway, I critique myself more than...
I know you critique, all you girls, not in girls, guys are actually worse than girls.
Yeah, but I do it more in a, like, how can I be better type of way. Like, I mean, more so critiquing myself.
Yeah, but sometimes you take it the other way. Sometimes you go, oh, I'm just not getting it today. I'm not liking it. I'm feeling bloated, or I'm feeling... Yeah. You follow? Because if you're not feeling good, you tend to slump. Everyone does. If you're feeling really good, you get up on your toes.
I just have horrible posture.
I know, but if you're not feeling good, you're always worse.
Yeah.
I can normally see when someone walks in for a photo shoot, if they're coming in on the balls of their feet, it's going to be a good shoot. If they're coming in flat-footed, I got my work cut out for me today.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very proud of Bloom today, who's still a little bit unwell with the head cold and still came in. Oh my gosh! Yeah,
but also Bloom, the whole concept of the shoot, she loved the idea. Yeah. So she was always going to kick it today because that look is a look that she loves and she could wear it.
Super villain.
Super villain.
So epic.
Which is tough. With her, I still got to get self-esteem stronger and she'll go next level because she's still looking at what's wrong in the picture, not what's right in the picture.
Yeah.
And you know yourself, this amount of times, remember the goop shoot? You said, I can't believe you got a good picture out of that goop shoot.
Yeah.
Because you were feeling like crap. 5 hours in hair and makeup, then she covered you in lanolin and then telling you to throw your hair and it's sticking to your face and you're not the type of person that likes sticky stuff all over you.
I'm not. I don't know who is.
No, I don't know who he is.
So, yeah, and even the first outfit we did wasn't working. But then when we changed into that leotard and I was like, this is working. And it was making
to a point. There was a point where the makeup artist kept on telling you to throw your hair, and I just got this frustrated look from then on.
Yeah, because it's not how
it's not how you model for a start.
I model.
Who wants to throw their hair when your skin's covered in goop?
Exactly, and I was just getting frustrated because I was like, okay, I'll do a few because the hair and makeup artist is just like a collab with them and they want to have that image. So I was like, okay, cool. So I did a few and I was just getting frustrated with the hair sticking to me. So I was like, okay, and they were loving it. They were like, oh my God, this is so great. So I was like, okay, cool, we've got that shot. I'm going to go back to how I model. And then I kept being told to throw my hair around. And I was like, that's why I was just getting frustrated because I was like, this isn't how I work and I'm feeling really uncomfortable doing this.
There was a batch, and I think it's when they weren't where we were shooting. And we just did what we do. And there was a batch, and I think out of that batch there was 10 great pictures.
Yeah.
And all the rest of the shoot was like, yuck, yeah, one good, yuck, one good.
I guess it's also a thing, right? Because like we hardly ever use hair and makeup artists because it's like a too many cooks spoil the broth type of thing. Like once you get more people on set, the more too many heads start butting, and especially hair and makeup artists, they're like, well, no, I've spent all this time doing this, so now I want my work to be showcased. And then it's like, it turns more about that and it turns less about the photography and less about the model, and it's like everyone's, I guess, trying to fight for their thing to be like more important, whereas you just prefer to like, no, let's just strip it back.
Yeah, collabs don't work.
Yeah. Well,
the only way collabs will work is if you have an agreement that, all right, we're going to do a collab. The first half of the shoot's 100% what you want.
Yep.
The second half of the shoot's 100% what I want. So rip that horrible makeup off. I want this, I want that. Yep. And they don't get offended, but you don't get offended when they say, I want it in pastel colours.
Yeah, but I'm not just picking on hair and makeup artists because stylists are the worst for it.
Yeah, we've got.
Well, actually, not the worst.
Is that on YouTube or is that on Inspire? Yeah, we had a stylist.
But you set the premise for that. You were like, okay, so we're going to do this shoot with a stylist, and you said, okay, you style it how you want, and then after we get your photo and you're happy we've got your photo, I'm restyling your look.
But it didn't start off that way.
I think we said that at the start of the shoot.
No, it started off when we were talking in the clothes rack. They had all these ideas, and I'm just going, I don't see that. This is not working with. This is 100% not working with what I had in mind to shoot. Like I'd seen the rack of clothes, but I was being minimalistic. He was being like, let's maximalistic. And yeah, so we agreed to disagree, and I said, all right, so you style it, and we'll do it your way. Then once you say I've got the shot, I'll use the same lighting, but I'm going to change the styling. And it was amazing how many of my pictures he used.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Anyway,
but it's hard on commercial work. There's always a boss. There's an art director.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So everybody just does what the art director wants. Now, some people might mention something to the art director, might change the shoot because the art director, oh, that's a cool idea, or so forth. But when it's just collab just for your folios, seriously, the best way to do it is, all right, half the day I'll do whatever you want, and in half a day you do whatever I want. Now, how heavy are you going to go with hair and makeup? Maybe we'll do your look second because I want it much lighter than that. So we're going to lose too much time toning it down. Yeah. Or it might be vice versa. The makeup artist wants something that's more natural, and the photographer wants something that's sort of gothic and heavy. And but a lot of that stuff, you have to make those mistakes, and It doesn't matter how much I say to people, it's time behind the camera, it's time in your studio, you've got to make those mistakes. That's how you learn.
And people still argue that you need to go to school.
School does not make, in fact, all it does is somebody else tells you why not to do something you didn't learn.
Yeah.
If the simple thing is, oh, don't do that because it might hurt, it didn't hurt you, so you didn't learn.
Yeah,
and one day you'll do it
and it
oh,
hurt.
that hurt, and then you never do it again.
Like employing me. You never do that again.
Still trying to get out of this one. I haven't worked it out quite yet.
Well, like asking me to do the accounting. You'll never ask me to do that again.
No, I won't. I don't know, that definitely won't. It wasn't so much...
I didn't realise how much I screwed it up. Well, I didn't know what I was doing, to be fair.
It wasn't so much that, was more... You couldn't lean on me because I did books for big businesses, but it was using
a different software.
Completely different software, and
Yeah.
I knew exactly how to work it inside and out. When our accountant made us change to this software, I just did not understand it, and having to raise an invoice for all these things, and this doesn't make sense. This just seems more work.
Yeah.
And
So you got your previous assistant to learn it.
previous assistant to learn it, which,
And then that was who taught me, but I don't think maybe...
I don't think they learned it properly in the start, and then they taught you only the bad stuff, not the good stuff.
And I think there was a few steps that were missed because I didn't know how to do, and I was... So then I've been doing the wrong thing for like 4 years, and now it is a mess.
It's like with our Inspire, it's been going on, I think, 5 or 6 years now. Mm. And I keep on asking my assistants can you create a video showing me what you do? I did. Well, my previous assistant did, and 45 minutes into it, oh, sorry, I did this wrong, let's start again. But I would have watched for 45 minutes to get with let's start again with, no, end of video, let's start again.
Well, I did make you one. I told you it was in the cloud, but then WordPress didn't update it. So now everything, and even I remember the day I logged on after the update, I was like, uh-oh, this looks different. I don't know what to do, but I figured it out. So now I need to make a new video with the new one. Anyway, I'll do that. I've got lots to do. I do have lots to do this afternoon.
Anyway, our alarm's gone off.
Yes, it has, and we're rambling anyways. So.
And we have a call with
our
bookkeeper.
With our bookkeeper, because if speaking of accounting, we should do that.
All right.
All right, well, thanks for joining us ramble again, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a good weekend.
Hopefully we'll have our stuff in order. In fact, I'll do a separate page, so it's fresh.
Okay. Bye, guys.
See you.